Welcome back to another episode on the MLD Balls page. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the future dynasty in the OKC Thunder. All right, y'all. So this is how dynasties are created. When you like straight up, when you look at a team like the OKC Thunder, where to me it looks like Shea Gilgeous Alexander is the next coming of Michael Jordan, man. Like I'm not even lying. I'm not saying he's gonna be the next guy to win 6 rings and stuff, but his play style, man. SGA is so tough, man, and like even like the way that the team is built around SGA to where he has a Ron Harper, a Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, who are guys who might even be better defenders next to him, but people gonna just Shea's the superstar, so people gonna be like, oh my gosh, Shea's the best defender in the world. Honestly, in this starting five, SGA is the worst defender. And he is an elite defender. Like SGA, like I agree with y'all. Off the ball, he's a great defender. But in this starting five, SGA is the worst defender, and he is a great defender, y'all. So, like, kind of, it reminds me of Michael Jordan, the way that his team is built around him with that same like that same storyline to where everyone thinks that he's this great defender, and it's because he is. It's because he is. But like his teammates are even better. It's crazy, bro. So this team defensively is insane. It's insane defensively. Insane. It's like I said, SGA is an all NBA defensive caliber player. And there's just 5 all NBA defensive caliber players in this starting five. Straight up. Straight up. Isaiah Hartenstein is one of the best defensive centers, at least last season, no matter what, one of the best defensive centers. Chet Holmgren, he we don't even got to talk about it. J-Dub, come on, OKC fans, y'all speak up for me. J-Dub is a better defender, and Lou Dort is one of the best defenders. And even off the bench, Alex Caruso, Kaysen Wallace, y'all, this team's defense is crazy. It's crazy. But let's stick to the starting lineup where they have the next coming of Michael Jordan and SGA with the way I think he's gonna be like the face of the NBA, like, cause like he has the Kim Kardashian, deal. He got the play style, he got the swag, he got the SGA is that nigga. I ain't gonna lie, SGA is that nigga straight up. That's just what I'm trying to say. SGA is that nigga, and I'm over here calling him the next coming of Michael Jordan. So y'all see how I feel about Shea Gilgeous. He is tough, really nice, and offensively, I love his baseline jumper, bro. Like one of my favorite go-to shots in the NBA right now. And the way that he's a methodical player, he plays at his own pace, kind of like how D'Angelo Russell plays at his own pace. But like Shea Gilgeous is good, D'Angelo Russell is not. But either way, I'm sending crazy strays. Shout out to D'Lo and shout out to Lou Dort, because this is a guy who he is in the 99th percentile in the NBA for matchup difficulty. Every single night, he goes out and guards the best guard on the other teams, and then he knocks down his threes at a 30% clip. And not only does he guard those people, he locks them up. Like the Dort Chambers is real. Like Lou Dort is somebody who locks people up and he puts them in prison. Like he literally is a top 5 perimeter defender in the game right now. And yeah, shout out to Lou Dort. J-Dub, Swiss Army knife. I think J-Dub is, in my opinion, he's a guard. Like I would prefer J-Dub playing shooting guard if he could, but he is so good defensively, so physical, and the way that he was brought up on this OKC team, needing to play power forward for them in the beginning of his career, it just put him in the NBA physicality immediately. Like you apply pressure, and sometimes you break, and sometimes you find a diamond, And J-Dub just showed, hey, J-Dub's been one of those diamonds. They put him out of position, and instead of, breaking down, he just showed up and became one of the best jump shooters in the NBA. He had one of the all-time jump shooting seasons, like as a sophomore player. That shows you a lot a lot out of J Dub, and he's a great defender. So that fits literally amazingly next to SGA, amazingly next to Chet, and Chet, another guy who he fits amazingly next to everyone. This OKC Thunder team, they were a top 13 defense the year that Chet Holmgren got hurt. So that means the year that J Dub was a rookie, Lou Dort was Lou Dort was still Lou Dort. SGA was SGA, and they had the other Jalen Williams starting a lot, and Josh Giddey. They were the 13th best defense. So that showed you right there that SGA, Lou Dort, and J Dub are good defenders, great defenders, because they didn't have a big man. They had Josh Giddey and the other Jalen Williams alongside them, and they were a top 13 defense. The next season, this year, where they got Chet Holmgren, they become one of the best defenses in the NBA automatically. And now, next to Chet Holmgren, you adding a big for him to where he could be versatile in Isaiah Hartenstein. And not only did you add Isaiah Hartenstein, I forgot to mention Alex Caruso. We're talking about, oh my goodness, we're talking about how good this team is defensively, and they got Alex Caruso. But before I get to Alex Caruso, let's get to Isaiah Hartenstein. Like I keep skipping one player because this Thunder team is insane, y'all. This team is insane, and this reminds me of the Bulls team, bro. It's just SGA for me, bro. He reminds me of Jordan so much. J Dub is like your modern day, like he's your modern day wing that you want on the team. Elite jump shooter and a Swiss Army knife defensively. And Chet Holmgren is your modern day big you want, bro. A 40% shooter, could block shots, could rebound decently. Rebounding is maybe not his strong suit, but he still is the type to grab like 7 to 8 rebounds, and he was a rookie. Let's see how many rebounds he actually grabbed in his rookie season. Yeah, he grabbed 8. Yeah, 7. Yeah, exactly. 7.9 rebounds in his rookie season. So that's not even that bad. And now you're going to have somebody in Isaiah Hartenstein who's a great rim protector himself and could rebound next to Chet. And that power forward position is crazy, bro. This Thunder team is insane. Probably straight up just the best starting five in the NBA. Maybe just the best starting lineup. Like the fact that SGA is the worst defender in this starting lineup is crazy. It's crazy. The fact that SGA is maybe the 7th to 8th best defender on this team is crazy because he's a all NBA capable level of defender. And I'm not trying to shit on SGA when I keep like putting him lower, ranking him lower as a defender on this team. What I'm trying to do is give perspective. Alex Caruso is a better defender than Shea. Lou Dort is a better defender than Shea. Jalen Williams is a better defender than Shea. Chet is a better defender than Shea. Isaiah Hartenstein is a better defender than Shea. Cason Wallace is the reason I said 7 or 8. If you think Cason Wallace is a better defender, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. I'm not gonna get too much into that because who cares? But Cason Wallace is that level of defender, and if you don't know about Cason Wallace, y'all gonna see about him because he is very similar to Alex Caruso. He is gonna be the point guard off the bench, and Alex Caruso is gonna be the shooting guard off the bench, and that team is gonna keep the same identity with that defensive mob show. They're gonna have Caruso and Wallace just off the bench as 2 40% 3-point shooters and keep cooking. Just keep cooking. Aaron Wiggins, another good defender, great defender. Actually, honestly, you could argue him and Shea also, but I'm gonna go with Shea. Aaron Wiggins is an athletic freak, is a good shooter, and one of the most underrated players in the NBA. People don't realize how good Aaron Wiggins is, and it's because how deep this Thunder team is. And this Thunder team, he's gonna get his shine soon because this team is gonna be a team that a lot of people gonna have. We gonna have no choice but to watch them. They're gonna be in the spotlight. Thunder are a team that could win the finals this season. The Thunder maybe are the best constructed roster this season. They really might be. It just comes down to experience and stuff, young age, and are they ready yet? Is J Dub gonna, step up? Because in the playoffs, that was his first playoff run, so it's cool. Chet, that was his first playoff run, so it's cool. Shea Gilgeous just showed us that he's gonna be the same in the playoffs, so it's cool. The Thunder is just now gonna be, hey, when are y'all ready? Straight up, because when the earlier y'all are ready, the quicker y'all could be a dynasty. Like this team has dynasty potential, and it just comes down to winning because they can keep this core together. And this core has so many defenders that even after they lose some of their defenders, they're gonna have the same identity. They're gonna have and all these draft picks they got, man. All these draft picks they got, man. Holy, we're only at Aaron Wiggins. We didn't even get to the 9th through 15, which we're gonna try to fly by a little bit so we can talk about the team a little bit more. Got Jalen Williams, who he's gonna now be able to play a little bit smaller. You know, Jalen Williams, he is like your tweener, and now he's gonna have Chet or Hartenstein always playing alongside him, which is gonna be a nice thing. Isaiah Joe, he's your specialist off the bench. Whenever you need spacing, and you have all these defenders next to Isaiah Joe. Who cares if Isaiah Joe isn't the best defender in the world? You got all these options next to him. Guess what? He's one of the best shooters in the world. So who cares if he's not one of the best defenders? He's one of the best shooters. So you have Isaiah Joe, who's going to be in there for some time. You have AJ Mitchell, who I believe they took in the second round this year. Kenrich Williams, who's he's a tweener who probably he's just a tweener who won't be getting too much minutes. Usman Jiang, another tweener who we'll see like what his upside is. If him or Kenrich could just pop off, that would be amazing for the Thunder. But a guy who I do think will pop off. OKC Thunder fan, remind me if I'm wrong on this take. I think Dylan Jones is going to pop off on this team. He's a older. We're going to talk about Dylan Jones in a little bit, but he's one of the reasons why I said I want to get on to the next slide so we can talk about this team in more depth, because that's not even the only starting lineup that they could go to. This is another starting lineup where instead of Isaiah Hartenstein, you just do the J-Dub power forward thing again, and you start Alex Caruso at small forward. He did it a lot for the Chicago Bulls. He is that good of a defender that he's capable of doing this. Jalen J-Dub is that good of a defender. Chet is this good of a defender. It comes down to matchups. I prefer the other starting lineup more, and moving the depth chart up was my biggest goal for the OKC Thunder this offseason, and they did exactly that. They moved the whole entire depth chart up, which is exactly what I wanted. I wanted a center next to Chet, and they literally did just that, which is perfect. I prefer Isaiah Hartenstein starting and Alex Caruso off the bench, but this is another thing that they could go to. Maybe they could close their games like this. Maybe this could be a closing lineup, and they just have the 5 out of death lineup, and maybe that could be a thing that they go to, because this is a team. This is the only team in the NBA so far that I couldn't make a closing lineup for them. The only thing that is a lock in their closing lineup is Shai Gilgeous, Jalen Williams, and Chet Holmgren. It's going to come down to whoever fits the best next to those guys against whatever matchup. If they're playing against the Boston Celtics, I wonder what they think is the best closing lineup, because the Thunder, this is a good thing. It's like a blessing and a curse that they have so many options. It just comes down to, do they want Caruso, Lou Dort, or Isaiah Hartenstein playing next to their big three? Who in the comment section, let me know, who would you prefer playing next to the big three? Would you want Caruso, Lou Dort, Isaiah Hartenstein? Start bench cut. All right, I'm going to say that again. You have a closing lineup for the OKC Thunder, and you have to start bench cut Lou Dort, Alex Caruso, or Isaiah Hartenstein. Who are you cutting? Throughout the game, they're going to have a rotation of Isaiah Hart. They're going to have a guard rotation of Casey Wallace, Shai Gilgeous, which is tough, 2 lockdown defenders. They're going to have a shooting guard rotation of Lou Dort, Alex Caruso, which are 2 lockdown defenders, 2 of the top 5 perimeter defenders in the NBA. And they're going to have Bro, I know this man's name. I just went over it. Isaiah Joe. Isaiah Joe, who's one of the best shooters in the NBA. Then at their small forward depth, they're going to have Jalen Williams and Aaron Wiggins, who are 2 of the best shooting small forwards in the NBA. This OKC Thunder team has it all. Like, this OKC Thunder team is so tough. J-Dub is one of the best Swiss Army knives, in my opinion. Aaron Wiggins is a similar player. And at the power forward position, they're going to have Chet, the other Jalen Williams, and Dylan Jones, who, man, I think Dylan Jones is so tough. And he's more of a small forward in my opinion, but He's a Swiss Army knife. He's a Swiss Army knife. So we're gonna see what the OKC Thunder do with him. And I like OKC Thunder love Swiss Army knives. So I understand why they took him. And then at the center rotation, they're gonna have Hartenstein, Chet, and also the other Jalen Williams. His name just wouldn't fit the graphic. And even their reserves are tough. And they probably have one of the best reserves in the NBA in Nikola Topic, who's gonna redshirt this year. And this OKC Thunder team, they know, like, yo, we have so much on our team. Do we even need another rotational player in the draft? Because we're going to take this guy right here and Dylan Jones, who he's going to be playing the first season in the NBA. So we're going to talk about him first. He is like your Josh Harts of the world. He could play shooting guard, small forward, power forward, Swiss Army knife. Like I said, man, the only reason that he fell in the draft was his age. He was one of the older players. He was one of the seniors in the draft, you know. And this OKC Thunder team, that's what they want. They want guys that is ready. And he was a good free throw shooter. He was a good jump shooter. He's a good rebounder. He's good at scoring inside the arc. He's a good glue guy. He's versatile, Swiss Army knife, like I said, a good playmaker, decent passer, good hustle guy. He's very physical. The only things that are questions about him is how consistent is that 3-point shot. He's on the smaller end. He is 6'5". So do you want him playing power forward? Not really. But this OKC Thunder team is the team that, you know, they will have a 6'5" power forward and a 7'2" power forward. You know, this OKC Thunder team just, you know, that's the type of team we are. You know, we can do anything. We can do anything. That's what the OKC Thunder are, man. And if Dylan Jones could go in and be the type of player I think he's capable of being, this bench just gets even deeper. He reminds me of Jalen Williams a lot. With Jalen Williams is like a crazy comparison with, he even has a set jump shot like Jalen Williams. Like it comes down to that. He even has a set jumper like J-Dub. Like they are that much of a resemblance to each other. He also got like Jeff Green to him, Josh Hart, like I said, Draymond Green skills, and Kyle Kuzma-esque, you know, great rebounder, kind of small. But Dylan Jones is a guy who I think is going to come in and hustle hard for this team. And he could be like your Marcus Smart, you know. We're going to see what he could do in his rookie year, how much minutes he even gets, because this roster is so deep. If he's getting minutes in his rookie year, it shows you how good he's playing in practices and stuff. And yeah, like I said, he's one of the older players, so he's going to be a guy competing for minutes immediately, because that's just how it is when you get drafted as a senior. And the other guy we got is Nikola Topic. They took him first in the draft. Well, not first overall, but they took him before they took Dylan Jones. He was a lottery pick, and he was in questions to go top 5. Nikola Topic reminds me a lot of Goran Dragic, Tony Parker, and bro, the way that he goes downhill is so crafty, like those two, especially like Goran Dragic, very reminiscent of Goran Dragic. And the way that he just goes downhill consistently is kind of like Tony Parker and John Wall. I love that he sets up his drives the same way John Wall did. Like him and John Wall got the same favorite move, like that little hesitation where like they hesitate and then they over exaggerate across to the opposite side. And I noticed that about Nikola Topic because I stole that from John Wall personally. So him and John Wall do that a lot, which he may not be as athletic at dunking the ball as John Wall, but he is as crafty of a finisher. So, you know, take John Wall without the athleticism and defense, I guess. And Josh Giddey, you know, he's going to come in and be very reminiscent of Josh Giddey, honestly. Maybe a better person, hopefully. But he's going to be a point guard, shooting guard, small forward. But I do want to mention this. Nikola Topic was my favorite point guard in the draft, and my worst landing spot from him was the OKC Thunder. Like before the draft process and everything, because he just reminds me of Shai Gilgeous a lot. You know, he plays the 1, 2, 3. I think Shai Gilgeous, if I was to like make a draft profile of him, I would say he's a 1, 2, 3. You know, Shai is a 6'6". Oh my goodness, that was a crazy comment. A 6'6" point guard. That was a crazy comment. Either way, a 6'6" point guard who could defend, you know, play the 3, you know, not the best shooter, but great free throw shooter. Like I would look at these two pretty similarly going into the draft. Not, you know, Not now, but like, yeah, you could even say he reminds me of Shea Gilgeous. I probably should have said that, but very good finisher, elite passer. That's probably why I didn't put Shea. Shea isn't an elite passer, but who cares about that, right? Shea is a good, great. Actually, Shea is an elite passer. What am I doing over here, bro? Shea is an elite passer. Yeah, yeah. Nikola Topic does also remind me of Shea. That kind of is why I didn't like the OKC Thunder fit. Shea, even Josh Giddey kind of reminds me of Shea. Obviously, he's not as good of a shooter and stuff, but just these big guards. Big guard needs the ball in his hand, is good at getting rim pressure, and is very good at scoring inside the arc. His 3-point consistency is going to be a question. I think personally that his 3-pointer is going to translate eventually because he's a good free throw shooter. He's a good mid range shooter. He has seasons where he shot good from three. I think his 3-pointer is going to come back, or it's just going to fall down more eventually. He's 19 years old. Eventually his 3-pointers will knock down. I'm not worried about his 3-pointer. I'm worried about his defense, and his athleticism has never been really a strong suit of his game. That's why, like, him going into his third knee surgery, as scary as it is, it's also not scary because he's not a John Morant. Like John Morant needs his athleticism. KD doesn't. He's more in that KD realm, and where his bag and his IQ is how he gets everything. He's quick because of his brain. He's not quick because of his burst. He's quick because he sees everything before it happens. He's a legit point guard, like legit, like pass first Ricky Rubio type. But he's a big guard and he's hurt this year. Third knee surgery, which is very super tough because this guy would have been a top 5 pick in this draft. He was that good. He that great of a talent. He has an aspect of basketball that he is gonna go into the NBA and be a lead at, which is ball handling and playmaking. Just playmaking. He's going to be an elite playmaker from day one. Passing, ball handling, and just creating stuff for people. He's going to be a lead at that day one. Immediately replace Josh Giddey with that, with more upside. So shout out to the Thunder. Shout out to Mark Dango, who I haven't even spoken about. Great coach over there. Love what he's doing with the OKC Thunder. Love these versatile lineups that he be going to. Sam Presti, shout out to you. This rebuild has been absolutely amazing. One of the best rebuilds that I've watched as a fan of basketball personally. And shout out to the Thunder once again. I can't wait to see what y'all do this season. Can't wait to see where I have them in my predictions when I'm going for like Western Conference predictions. This might just be the 1 seed. This really might just be the number 1 seed in the Western Conference. Not gonna lie. Honestly, I might just rank them there right now. Yeah, I think the Thunder are going to be the number 1 seed this year in the Western Conference, and this team is going to be a team that we're going to have our goggles on in the playoffs. If J-Dub does that shit again, I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed, but he was a rookie, so it's okay. If Chet, I want Chet to step up a little bit more. But J-Dub, he was all right. He was a rookie. He had moments even in the playoffs where he was stepping up in the fourth quarter. J-Dub, he's a super clutch player in the fourth quarter. I had him in my top 10 for clutch player of the year. I know what J-Dub is capable of, and I can't wait to see if he can become an all-star this season in the Western Conference. I think he's that good. Chet Holmgren also. One of these guys are a all-star level player next to Shea Gilgeous, and I can't wait to see the Thunder, like I said. Thank you for everybody for tuning in. I'm currently at 178 subscribers, so if you can leave a like, comment, and subscribe, that would be very much appreciated. So yeah, everybody have a nice day and God bless.